Drew from Ashland, Virginia hit me up. He said, which teams do you think could be maybe the SMU or maybe the Indiana for this year in terms of crashing the playoff, coming from off the radar? And I thought about that, Drew, and I thought, okay, well, by radar, you mean the teams everyone's talking about, the teams near the top of the odds board. I think that's fair. Louisville's not one of those teams, and I think Louisville could crash the playoff party if everything goes right with them. I think I'm higher than most people on Miller Moss. I think they've got a sneaky good wide receiver group there. I implicitly trust Jeff Brom to get the most out of offensive personnel. They've played the portal game. They get it. They understand team dynamics. They get Clemson at home on a Friday night, and they dominated them in Death Valley last year. They're a total portal mystery team. So, I mean, there's a floor that's a little bit lower than I would like, but there's a ceiling that's pretty high. And it just wouldn't shock me if you looked up in November and they're a 10-win team. So they could be that. Their over-under win total is 8.5, but they could be that. I think if you looked in the SEC, Missouri's one of them. I think Missouri's got a very high floor defensively. I've already taken the over on win total for Missouri. Ahmad Hardy could be the breakout tailback in college football this year, much less just the SEC. They know their identity. Missouri's not some team that gets into the season and tries to, feel their way through it. They got NFL guys on the offensive line. Bo Perbula, that's the roll of the dice. Like, that's the quarterback that transferred in from Penn State. Don't forget, man, he is a threat with his legs as well. You go back and watch the Wisconsin game. That's the one you have to watch if you're watching Perbula highlights last year. But the schedule is up on the screen right now. If you're watching on YouTube, there is no Texas on there. There's no Georgia on there. There's no Florida on there. There's no LSU on there. This is Eli Drinkwitz, people. This is Eli Drinkwitz. Be careful. I've got to talk about Nebraska. Nebraska is a threat here. I just want to say something and put it out there in the universe. Dana Holgorsen and a 5-star quarterback with pretty good offensive personnel. That's a winning combination. That's a winning formula. They were 103rd in scoring offense last year. There's obviously a huge jump coming. How high? Like, how radical is the jump? You've got Matt Rule in year 3, which is just basically science at this point. There's no Ohio State on their schedule. There's no Oregon on their schedule. There's no Michigan on their schedule. They could lose 2 games here. 10-2 is probably getting them in the playoff. Now, I know certain Nashville residents that are already there. They're already ready to predict 10 wins for Nebraska. I myself am not there yet. I could be talked into 9. It's going to take some convincing to get me to 10. I'm not saying I won't do it. I'm saying I got to be convinced of it. But because I could at least be convinced, that makes Nebraska a playoff crash sleeper type team. We'll get back to the video 1 second. Do me one quick favor. Look down. Make sure you're subscribed. Most of you are. If you're not, please do so. It's the way we keep the channel free, we keep the videos coming, and we get to do college football year-round as God intended. All right, as promised, back to the video. And A&M is too. I have a reputation in Austin. The Texas folks are okay with me. They just think I'm a little too close to Texas A&M. It's only because I've spoken so emphatically about them and I've said things I believe that I have to see it through. I have to see it through. I think I got the right head coach there to see it through. I like the identity of this team. They got really deep offensive line play. They got really deep tailback room there, really good, solid 3 guys that I would trust pretty much anywhere. Marcel Reed can run the ball. I think Colin Klein understands that they're going to live or die with their ability to stretch the field this year, and I think they feel a whole lot better about being able to stretch the field than they did last year. Their personnel's dictating that. I think they'll be better at pushing the ball down the field, and I've got Mike Elko saying, you better handle that because I'm over here with this defense. We ended the season poorly. I called them out at the press conference last year, and so we got to be better. They will be better, and it's a challenging schedule. They all are in the SEC, but I still think dust settles. That's one of the teams that could probably go 9-3 and challenge to be on the outside of the playoff bubble. This is about sleepers. This is not about favorites. Georgia Tech. Yep. Anyone want to talk about Georgia Tech? The ACC's open. You got Clemson and what? Clemson and Hoomst, if you will. Well, Georgia Tech. They're not a mystery to me. I already took the over. It's my favorite bet of all the ones that we I'm not going to say cashed, but I already feel good about this thing cashing. Buster Faulkner's the offensive coordinator here. Speaking of cashing in, he just cashed in. It's the first time I think a coordinator has been a seven-figure earner there, and he has earned it. He was at Georgia. He could have stayed at Georgia. He could have waited for a quote-unquote bigger job. He took a chance professionally, and he went with Brent Key at Georgia Tech, and now he's being rewarded for it, and they're being rewarded for it, and they got Clemson at home in week 3, and I'm really looking forward to it because I think that could be one of the sleeper games of the year. Elsewhere, they get Georgia in Atlanta later in the year. There is a disgusting corporate name on the game. They're playing it at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's worth like 12 or 13 million more dollars for them. I get it. I don't like it. I get it. But outside of that, if you look up and down the schedule here, question, where else are they a point spread underdog? At Colorado? No. Temple? No. Wake? Vatech? Duke? Syracuse? NC State? Georgia Tech could be favored in 10 of 12. And the two that they're not favored in are both in Atlanta. I like them a lot. I'm ready to say some irresponsible things about Georgia Tech when we do our prediction segment later this week or next week. So, yeah, I couldn't be any higher on them.